Are you gonna start drinking more?
That's what he was asking me.
This is the agenda for the Espanola Public School Board Meeting that's going on. Matt, I was invited to.
Or if you want to give it directly to them or whatever, that's how they can meet you or whatever. It doesn't matter.
Nice to meet you.
The seats are right over here.
The front door's locked. We opened the front door. Come on. But it's locked. It's locked. Peter, do we ever rent? Lock the front.
I do have it, but.
You guys can come and sit down over here if you like. There's some seats. What do you make out? You were telling me somebody was selling it. Yeah, because I went up to Ecos on Monday and I could see all the cars on the side of the road like going up through all kinds of people. Everybody else was picking up.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Hold on, Courtney. Hold on. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The time is 6:04, and I'm calling this meeting to order. Mr. Eric Spencer, can you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Juro fidelidad a la bandera de los Estados Unidos de América y a la patria que simboliza una nación bajo de Dios, indivisible, con libertad y justicia para todos. Thank you, Mr. Spencer. Mr. Salazar, if you can please, roll call, please.
Yes, sir, Mr. Police. Board Member Martinez,
Present.
Board Member Brendan Bustos.
Present.
Dale Salazar, I'm here. Vice President Archuleta.
Present.
President Police.
Present.
We have four.
Thank you, Mr. Salazar. Ms. Polanco, please let the record reflect that Mr. Bustos is joining us via cell phone for this meeting. Thank you. Members of the board, before you, you have the agenda. You'll have a motion for approval.
Motion.
President,
Quick question, can we move executive session right below public participation, actually after the presentation?
After the presentation?
Yeah, after the students, executive session before district reports,
Okay,
just because someone called and I just want to make sure I can get that.
okay, no problem. Okay, does anybody oppose that? No? Okay, I have a motion to up the executive session prior to the district reports. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by board Secretary Salazar. Ms. Polanco, the roll, please.
Board Member Martinez?
Yes.
Board Member Bustos?
Yes.
Board Secretary Salazar?
Yes.
Board Vice President Archuleta?
Yes.
Board President Police?
Yes, motion passes. So please, Ms. Polanco, make sure that you reflect the changes. Moving on to number 2, public participation. Ms. Polanco, do we have anybody registered for public participation? No? Does anybody here presently want to speak publicly?
I thought that thing down there was a sign-in sheet to speak for public comment.
No, that's just a sign into the meeting, but you can,
Can I?
For the record, if you could please state your name, sir.
we have someone online.
We also have someone online? Okay. Go ahead, sir.
My name is Steven. I'm a civil rights activist and I hold government accountable. You guys met me before, a couple of months ago. What I write on social media is factual information. It's not information that's made up with lies, stuff like that. As you're an elected official, you make assumptions of people running meetings and you hide behind that. Myself, I expose people. I put people's names out there of who I expose. As you, as an elected official, if you're gonna do that, be the man and put the person's name that you're talking about. Okay, that's cowardism. Each and every single one of you that sit on this board are cowards and pieces of shit. Every single one of you guys. These people here, half of Espanola voted for you guys to sit on those seats to represent these people. You guys are here fighting amongst each other over stupid stuff instead of helping these kids in this valley to better the school district, to do that. But you guys have a vengeance against each other. You guys are calling each other out, and that's not very respectful, and that's not respectful for these people. Okay? With that being said, I'm here for a couple of months. I'll continue coming to these meetings. I'll continue exposing. There's a lot of dirt on each and every single one of you guys. A lot of dirt. Brandon knows. I had shots with Brandon, and I told Brandon, bro, I want to keep you accountable, bro. That's what I want to do to you. He said, that's fine. There's a lot of stuff going on. I can air it all out, but I have to keep my cards close to you. But within time, I'll air out information. There are secret meetings, like how you guys have secret meetings. The city of Espanola has secret meetings. The county commissioners have secret meetings. Everywhere throughout the nation, they have secret meetings. They have backdoor deals. They try to do better for themselves instead of for these folks, for these kids. These are the kids. This is who you should be focusing on, the kids of this district. Not you guys, not fighting, not making one another a better person, one that's a puppet master. There is a puppet master, and it's still going as of right now. There is a puppet master. And that person knows who he is. And that's Pablo. We all know that. We all know that. See, I can say it. You know, that's how it's going. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Mr. Lona. Appreciate that. Okay, Miss, is it Sandoval? Go ahead, Sarah. If you could please state your name for the record.
Yeah, my name is Sarah.
Go ahead, Miss Sandoval, you have the floor.
Okay. Okay, I just had a quick question for the board. I'm a parent of a student in the Espanola School District. And I had a concern and just a question just about the board member who was charged with assault and who's lied to police officers, and have they been reprimanded or just put on leave of any kind? And like, if not, why not?
Ms. Sandoval, sorry, public session is only for you to speak. The board cannot engage with you at this time. You're more than welcome to email or contact our superintendent, and any questions you have in regards to your concerns, he would be able to answer you or direct you in the correct direction.
Okay, I appreciate that. I'll do so.
Thank you, Ms.
Thank
Sandoval.
you.
Anybody else? No? Okay. Moving on to presentations, letter A, student attendance poster competition winners.
So we have Ms. Sherry Rodriguez is going to be presenting some awards to students. For September, it was Student Attendance Month, and we had a poster competition running in the school district. We had 3 different categories: elementary, middle, and high school. And so students at each one of the schools, many students in the schools created some posters. And then there was a team of judges at each one of the building levels that then identified their first, second, and third place, submitted those onto district office. There was another set of judges then that evaluated those posters and then made the determination of first, second, and third place in each of the categories. So Ms. Rodriguez, if you'd like to make the presentations.
Sure, thank you. Thank you guys for coming. This is awesome to see so many people here this evening. So what we're gonna do is we'll call your child's name. They have a certificate, they're getting a copy of their artwork. The artwork is also displayed on the wall behind you, as well as out on our electronic boards, so you can see it. Our schools are also gonna be displaying it out on their electronic boards as well. So thank you again, and we'll get started. So first place in the kinder through 2nd grade category is Isaiah De Vargas Pacheco.
You wanna just do it after? That way we can
It's up
just
to
get it
you.
all like that, and then afterwards we can just all take
Yeah.
pictures within that.
That works. So here is your poster, sir, and your certificate. And you get a whole bag of the book and cool stuff. Awesome, thank you. Second place goes to Tony Rodriguez from Chimayo Elementary. Here is your certificate. And Miss Katrina has your bag, all kinds of stuff. If you come in, you can have you stand back here if you'd like. There's a couple of seats. Yeah. Third place in the kinder through 2nd category goes goes to Leilani Garcia. And I think it's important that everybody sees their artwork, it's really cool. And Leilani is from Abiquiu Elementary. Moving on to the 3rd through 6th grade category. First place goes to Charlotte Murphy Seilerberger, maybe? I might have messed up that name, I'm sorry. Very cool drawing as well. And she is from UPS. Second place in the 3rd through 6th grade category goes to Nicholas Barrio Nuevo from Abiquiu. Third place in the 3rd through 6th grade category, Diana Sanchez Morales from Chile. Thank you. And I guess I should say in their bag they have a book, a tote bag, a t-shirt, and some pins and some really cool stuff. So moving on to the secondary, we have first place in the 7th and 8th grade category, Nicolette Silva. Second place, 7th, 8th grade category, Emily Vargas Apodaca. Thank you. Third place in the 7th through 8th grade category, Isaiah Gallegos. Third place in the 7th through 8th grade category, Joshua Garcia. Did they give you 2 pictures? No. Is that your picture? I don't know where your picture went. I will find your picture. Moving on to the high school. First place is Keisha Danielle Nokiel. Second place is Brianna Garcia. And third place is Ariana Chavez. Awesome. Thank you guys very much. I believe
We
Mr.
can have
Codis wants to,
students up here, we can take
Yes.
pictures.
or maybe out there.
We're out there, that's fine.
Yeah.
Guys, beautiful work. You know, it takes a lot of courage to display your artwork out there like that, and time. And good job, guys. Appreciate you guys for taking part in this. You know, and continue, guys. Don't give up. You know, it's a talent that you guys have, and just keep working at it. You get better day by day, and good job on all the drawings.
Yes, I'd like to reiterate too, good job, guys. You know, the Valley is, you know, very well known for their low riders, but they're also known for their artwork that we've done, you know, here in the Valley and in the surrounding communities. So, you know, you guys are our next artists that will be in the next generation. So I really commend you guys and keep up the good work. And like I say, you know, congratulations again to all of you.
And for these young people, this was a representation of positive school attendance, right? This is how they interpreted good attendance, you know, for themselves and for others. And so we just appreciate everybody that participated in the competition. We're excited to get your artwork displayed on posters. We're going to be knocking on doors in the community and asking if we can display this on business doors to bring awareness to the entire community that attendance in school is very important, and you know, good things happen when you're in school. And so keep up the good work, and I'm very proud of everybody that participated.
Well, congratulations to all of you guys. I've looked at your artwork. I'm very proud of you guys. You guys
are amazing. I can't say enough about the talent that we have in our district, and you guys show it every day. When we got into our schools, we get to see a lot of your talent, whether it's in the classroom or whether it's out on basketball courts or football fields, whatever. You have a bunch of talent in many different ways. So congratulations, guys, and we're really excited to start seeing those all over.
Again, congratulations. It's looking at some of the artwork is really awesome compared to the little guy, the little girl. It's cool, and I've always wanted to draw, and I never learned how to. I never could take that art, so use it to your advantage. And congratulations, and thank you for being a positive role models for our students.
Thank you, guys. We're gonna take a short recess.
Board
President.
Go ahead, sorry, Mr. Bustos, I forgot you were online, on the
No,
phone.
you're fine. I forgot that you guys go first, but no, I just like to congratulate the winners and also I'd like to, tell the ones that tried a good job with the drawings. Like Ruben said, I'd like to echo too. I'm not that good at drawing myself, but if you could draw, that's a special gift. And I'd say continue drawing. It only gets better, and you guys are the future generation of artists, like Mr. Salazar said. So just keep up the good work, keep the positive attitude for the school district, and later on in life, thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Bustos. Okay, we're gonna take a short recess for some pictures. We are going to, the time is 6:20, and do I have a motion to take a short recess? Motion by Board Secretary Salazar, second by Mr. Archuleta. Ms. Polanco, roll please.
Board Member Martinez? Yes. Board Member Bustos?
Yes.
Board Secretary Salazar?
Yes.
Board Vice President Huerta?
Yes.
Board President Cruz?
Yes, the time is 6:20 and we're in recess.
If you guys wanna go out and take a picture with him, that'll be great. Sorry, I'm ready. I don't know why we don't have. Joshua Garcia.
Remember the Care Bears? No, yeah, but when I was in elementary school, there was a Care Bears coloring competition, and I had won third place in the elementary school.
Oh.
That's like my claim to artistic fame.
So like, maybe we'll do something like that next year.
Yeah.
We'll do it.
I know better.
They're anticipating that being the district championship.
Right.
So to go along. It's fine. Curdy, you want to play their last football game?
Oh, okay.
Well, he had given us 22nd or 24th. I picked the 22nd because later into the week.
So were you, was it the same area or leaving or just flying just?
Your students are coach?
So you're all done with that, okay? Yes. That's been a process for a while. But yeah, we really expanded it after the grand.
His brother.
Yeah, they knew. They didn't miss us all another so.
Cartoon Curdy, another had old Superman before, that's what I want. So perfect. You know? I haven't seen what you're talking
See, Christian, you would have done a better job.
You did good. You did. You only last one.
Oh, thank you.
T-shirt.
No, yes. No water. So that helps. Find out.
But I have to say, nobody needed water to.
Do you remember when I first started at the Northern? The principal that was there before me, he had, it was crazy. The kids were like, so when do I get to do the drills? I was like, what drill? He goes, the scatter drill. I was like, scatter drill? He goes, yeah, the principal used to tell us, he'd ring a bell and he'd say, scatter drill, scatter drill. And we had to go hide all over the schoolyard. And they were hiding in the back by those transfer centers, in the bushes. He said that it was called a scatter drill. In case of an active shooter, just go and hide somewhere out in the yard. And I had multiple kids tell me, wow, that guy must have been crazy. His name started with an O. It started with an S. Just right here, when I was first here, that guy started with an S. Stories.
Digo que este mundo. Ya, todavía anda.
Right? Right. Do public record requests. Who will ask?
Well, he said.
I like how you're rotating on those digital boards.
I know, like, I'm so excited, I can't start singing it. Yeah, we have awards tomorrow at the junior high for attendance, honor roll, and stuff like that. Like positive awards tomorrow. Tomorrow at 9. Tomorrow 9 in the morning, so hopefully we'll still get have this talking, bring those kids out again.
Let's get it going again right away, Courtney. Ready? Okay. Okay, the time is 6:27. Do I have a motion to come out of our recess? Motion by Board Member Martinez, second by Vice President Archuleta. Ms. Polanco, roll please.
Board Member Martinez?
Yes.
Board Member Bustos?
Yeah.
Board Secretary Salazar?
Yes.
Board Vice President Archuleta?
Yes.
Board President Cruz?
Yes, motion passes. Okay, moving on to executive session, letter A, pursuant to NMSA section 10-15-1 H7, discussion subject to the attorney-client privilege pertaining to threatened or pending litigation in which the district is or may become a participant. Estrada versus Lopez, First Additional District Court, number D 101-CB-2024-02303. Do I have a motion to go into executive session? Motion by Board Secretary Salazar, all second. Ms. Polanco, roll.
Board Member Martinez?
Yes.
Board Member Bustos?
Yes.
Board Secretary Salazar?
Yes.
Board Vice President Archuleta?
Yes.
Board President Cruz?
Yes, the time is 6:28 and we are in executive session.
Oh, no worries.
Oh, sorry, sorry.
Oh, yeah. He knows it. Yeah. I just got on, because I didn't have brown, I had black, but I only had black cloths. And I was supposed to do it. Yeah. Is everybody going pretty much? Thank you for being here.
So we're in it. Regarding a lawsuit from a parent against a security guard for the city of Espanola. The security guard used to be a cop. He was an ex-cop for the city of Espanola, but now he's a security guard here for the school, for the high school. So we're in executive session. I don't know how long that will take. But I hope you guys can hear me. And thank you guys for joining. It's not like a city council meeting or anything like that, but they have some they're gonna be voting on approval on some RFPs. Some contractors have some bids. They put bids out there. There's some contractors that placed the bid, so they're gonna be voting on that as well tonight. We're in the city of Espanola, New Mexico. James is live. Pretty sick.
Good night, guys.
This one's old. Ain't updated.
You locked out?
No,
Oh, okay.
it's just boring in there, bro.
I didn't know we will.
You're heading out?
Yeah, the girls are thinking of walking.
Nice. Have a good one, brother. Nice seeing you, bro. I sure will. No way, James got arrested today? Get out of here. What a bummer. I guess I am locked out. Yes, it is too quiet. I don't know if they're back from executive session or not, but we'll see. No, they're still in executive session.
I didn't.
Thank you.
I thought you had left. I was like, oh my gosh, he forgot his mic.
Nah.
Maybe she got on a chair.
Yeah, she moves some
She
chairs.
really
She
hit
moved
that
chairs.
stapler to get it in there.
But yeah, I think we should.
They're gonna leave them there, right?
That's the top one.
Hey, come on. They're gonna leave them up there, right?
I'm still.
It's gonna break soon.
Guys, move it.
Just
higher than where it's from.
They should have moved the picture.
You can buy them tape,
They should have put like something different.
No, but the mountain boards is wrong. You need to buy tape.
I think one says the amount, no, it just says the outstanding.
Okay.
Where's maintenance?
It's okay, they're
One
fixing
says
it.
the amount.
Aren't you a maintenance people?
Whatever.
The director?
Not today.
Oh,
Have
man.
like be on be following.
Did you put in a work order, young lady?
And then I'm like,
This is the second one.
Eee.
so then once we send it, I don't even know. My understanding is that we send it, like we fill it out, we send it to Danielle, and then Danielle.
Are you still a bus director too?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. So you have 2 titles and underpaid?
Just say yes. I'm gonna say yes anyway.
Huh?
Just
Yes.
say yes.
I said it for you, bro.
Hey, Steven, how's your brother's, Ruben?
He's good.
He's doing good?
Yes, sir.
Where's he at these days?
And I didn't know there was a little provisional area to play with. I'm like, shoot, they should have shown me that. I messed up in the provisional. So, but it was nice to see. We'll see. I do need to eventually have Cassandra taken out of the door after her promotion now. Doing stuff here. If they couldn't hire her to be part-time, let them figure it out. Figuring out how to do it later. I mean, I'm still gonna do it because that's me. I don't want something. No. I haven't done PRTA though, but we used to do this PRTA. And then I won't ask you. Yeah, it was nice. And it was all, it's always good to get information and more than to hear from others, because we're so like, it goes, and like Alexis said, I walked down there, could you please approve, you know? So that's like the only time we play around, so it's nice to be able to talk. I understand. Getting an email about what it is like June, when she doesn't see it until 48 hours later. Yeah. Or the next day, like, why? Because that's not gonna help. She's gonna go walk her circle or what?
Yeah, we went and checked the.
You know what was wrong with the janitorial door? Why it won't close? Somebody put magnets on it to keep it from closing.
Oh,
I should have
The
thrown those
magnets.
magnets away, actually, now that I think about it.
but does she have a
They
key
still
though?
have better toilet paper than we do.
Can I have the magnets?
Can I have a back, please?
Yeah, cause I came here today to load up the closet and it wouldn't, I don't know, it's like something, and then that's when I showed him all those. So he went in there and he's like, no, I was like, we don't have cords, and I said, it's not the cord, it's the
What
actual
you do with the
cord.
magnet?
And
Well,
then-
Audra wants some.
Good for my fridge.
Oh.
You're gonna be that stingy little one.
Or,
You'll have to show me. I don't want them to think I'm just dropping. I stood there. But you wanted to.
I don't. The less I know, the better.
that's what I say, I stay in my office, in my zone. Me too. I don't wanna know.
Ignorance is bliss.
Well, sometimes that doesn't even work either, Tito.
Yeah. I was kidding.
Us too.
Like that one.
After wasn't kidding. Far, so that's really weird. This one is batteries. That's probably our last time,
Okay,
so.
batteries?
Yeah, seems like it's batteries, cause
Hi,
it seems like there's soap in there, but it's just.
I got some batteries. Send me the video.
No, no.
Yeah.
And we don't.
God forbid, ask.
That was only.
I'm learning that. So it's something up for a couple of them.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I was saying, just imagine how many left the premises. Did they crack it or were they trying to fix it or?
So we took it down and we tried molding it, but it's still crooked. And then
They should have just moved it up 2 inches and realigned it, so if they're trying to realign it almost in the same holes. Who's the one that changed the second time?
one of
Roll
them.
and then you move.
No, the other
The
guy.
guy we lost, so we sure, but she got, one of the two got used up the first time. She didn't have the first one. But she was lost this time.
One or older.
Older.
Yeah, so if you're only long.
And then.
It's not like she's gonna make it in happy yet, but.
Hey Joseph, and then the guy who
Well, and
left
she's
the
not,
trash,
she's
she's like,
so I have to approve it anyway, so.
So she did have like camper access to her, so now she just lets people in her mind.
but they so they took it down, and then when they gave like a list of the girls that wanted it on the first time.
Didn't do that the first time. Very terrified.
And I was like, okay, I said,
It didn't rattle.
that's what's on the wall, you're gonna fall down, she goes, no, and I was like, well, are you sure?
I'm not gonna say that.
Wherever you order it.
Yeah.
But she's not.
And they'll order you or get me the clothes and order it. And I don't mind getting it. So order something from Amazon.
So much. Okay.
Okay, Brandon, we're gonna walk, I'm walking out of executive session. Okay? Come on, people, not everybody's gone.
Everybody's gone, that's how it goes. We didn't offer free pizza and Coke.
I guess we should have had cake.
Yeah.
I would've known I would've gone for that cake.
I know, I thought about that too.
Smart cookies. I know, that was a cute one.
That would have been awesome. It says that I had it.
I guess we'll have to take some cookies to those niños, the kindergartners.
I had
Juice.
this stuff, I know. And like, you know, and then-
I know.
We should probably lose himself.
Ice cream.
Oh, gee, I should tell you.
Are you all here?
Have you been to that?
So you never done that, but it's nice equipment, we can use the pictures.
These are close to. Maybe I'll just move them for us. It's all the same. So I guess you guys want to- And then I did make a couple of calls. I don't talk to the director.
Oh,
I guess they
the lighting.
started cleaning up their area.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they cleaned attitude.
Oh.
They're supposed to come teach you all.
Okay.
I don't know.
We have,
That's a mess over there in Chino.
I know, we have cleanup day tomorrow.
So you do.
At 1, we're gonna clean up the stickers. Oh, come back.
Cause, and then the whole situation was, you know, like, cause that thing I talked to Joffrey or Jeffrey or whatever his name was, it was like, even before him.
The one that's there all the time.
I want to know. Well, wait, cause I leave at 5:30, you're stuck here, so.
I left yesterday.
And I will see you right here at 6 in the morning.
Oh, yeah, you get your rest. Well, before super, I was always the front.
My best between 6 and 12. After 12, I'm like, oh.
No, so when they
So
coming to do my work, they're like, if you're at 5 a.m., I'll be leave her alone. And they're like, what time are you there? And I was like, 8:15, the earliest.
Ish. Heavy on the ish.
I
have a
did
friend
it
like
like
that.
Yeah, send it
8:20,
to my
and they were like, keeping it down, like, you weren't getting it. I said, what's up, you're okay.
Where's our buddy?
9:30.
Yeah.
I'm bringing out. Ish.
Oh, there he comes.
Oh, here we go.
Okay, I'm not getting myself.
You're the main light of the show.
All right? Ready for me? The time is 6:48. Do I have a motion to come out of executive session? Motion by Board Member Martinez, I'll second. Ms. Polanco, a roll, please.
Board Member Martinez? Yes. Board Member Bustos?
Yes.
Board Secretary Salazar?
Yes.
Board Vice President Zuleta?
Yes.
Board President?
So there was no action.
Yes, yeah. So again, we are out of executive session, and just for the record, Ms. Polanco, no action was taken during the executive session. Okay, moving on to district reports, letter A, Board President's report. I don't really have much to report. We do have an award ceremony tomorrow at not James Rodriguez, Carlos Vigil Middle School. They will be giving out their awards, is it 9 weeks awards?
Yeah,
Their
that's gonna be honor roll, attendance.
honor roll attendance awards tomorrow. We did have a meeting with our maintenance staff, and I think I updated the board last time on that one. Anybody else have anything to add to the president's report? Mr. Salazar, Ms. Martinez?
We did meet with the new auditors, last week, we did have the, open session with the new auditors, so.
And I was unavailable for that meeting.
So that did happen last Monday, I believe, and we
Okay.
have another one scheduled, so.
Mr. Chico, you have anything to add?
No, it's just with Bill and I had a meeting, we're supposed to see if we can amend our policy to get that girl eligible. Where are we with that?
On the, so we were, did you bring it to the athletic committee?
Yeah, we
meeting?
might have that, it's supposed to be, it's supposed to
She
be
made a
the agenda.
proposal, she talked to us at the athletic committee.
It's supposed to be the agenda.
And did Mr. Beta recommend a policy change, Mr. Spencer?
There's not been a policy recommendation.
No.
We'll follow up on that.
Okay, if you can follow up on that, we can get it right away.
We were gonna ask the legal, Matt was supposed to ask legal because all other schools allow, not for homeschooling, they allow three sports and so she just wanted to discuss it, but I think we need to let her know sooner than later if she wants to do, basketball or if it's coming up, so I think
Okay.
that's an issue that needs, and then also she was asked for the employee handbook to be put on the agenda.
The employee handbook,
Not, sorry,
the athletic handbook.
because I did, I went through and I did feel that.
So on the committee that you presented in the committee, and did you bring your concerns up in the committee?
Yeah.
Okay, and did you ask Mr. Abeta to request that it be put on the agenda with the changes, or?
Yes, and I've been on the board, this is my 10th year, and we've always approved an athletic handbook for that year, because according to Mr. Abate, they said it didn't have to be approved because there's no changes, but that athletic handbook says 23-24, so we have to have an updated one for athletics.
We'll move on that.
Okay. Anything else?
That was all we talked about. There was some other stuff.
Tomas?
Yeah, did we get the agreement with Tomas and Synchrony Bank? Finalized too?
Yes, the board action occurred in the last board meeting on that, and then the decals have been ordered, is my understanding. Yeah.
Mr. Bustos, do you have any questions? Or anything to add to the board president's report?
No, I don't have anything to add. schools?
Yeah, week from tomorrow.
Yeah, I believe that is
25th.
next Friday, Mr. Bustos.
Alright, awesome.
Yes.
That's all I-
Okay, moving on to superintendent's report, letter B, Mr. Spencer.
So there's two reports under the superintendent's report, actually. One is my general report, and then another one is specific to Title IX and the OCR resolution agreement update. So part of what's in the resolution agreement is that we would be bringing forward a monthly Title IX report to the district, and as we move forward in implementing the requirements of the resolution agreement, we'll get specific as to what we're doing. One of the items to be reporting is the number of Title IX investigations that the district is currently implementing. And so in the report, you see that there is one active Title IX investigation taking place at I'm sorry, I wrote elementary school, it's actually the middle school. And so that particular investigation is underway. With regard to the OCR resolution agreement, we're making progress. We did take a draft notice for students, parents, and employers. This is about the opportunity to submit Title IX complaints related to incidences of sexual harassment from 2017-18 to 23-24 school years that were insufficiently addressed by the district. The second item was the Title IX coordinator notification, which is a draft notice that's been prepared to update the district employees, students, and parents about the designated Title IX coordinator. That information will be including the coordinator's contact information to include their phone number, email address, office location, and then we'll be updating handbooks and non-discrimination policies. Another component is the statement has been drafted for legal review, or that component has been drafted for legal review, and then it will be submitted to the Office for Civil Rights for approval. And in fact, all of these draft documents are currently with legal review at this point in time, and then they're due to the Office for Civil Rights on the 25th of October. With regard to future steps and continuous improvement, once our legal review provides feedback on those, we'll submit those to the Office for Civil Rights. They will then initiate their review and then go back and forth with the district about desired changes that they may have in those documents. And then once those return to the district, then kind of like the time clock starts ticking again in terms of how much time we actually have to get the notification out to the community, parents and students, etc. So at this point in time, we are on track to meet that resolution agreement requirement for October 25th with all of those particular deliverables. And then what's also occurring is a policy review of our Title IX policies. So legal is taking a look at that at this point in time to take a look at what we currently have in policy and then compare that to the requirements that came forth in Title IX regulation that was released on August the 1st. And so that's kind of an activity that every school district has to engage in at this point in time. And so we've got that underway as well. So that's the Title IX report. Questions on the report?
No, but the Office of Civil Rights out of Denver, right, are they gonna come down and look at our schools again, or just waiting for our responses?
Not that I'm aware of. They worked with the district to initiate the resolution agreement that is currently what we have to operate on. And the resolution agreement has a whole series of deliverables that we have to be working through, and they're time bound. They gave us 45 days to do this, that, and the other, or 30 days, whatever the case may be. And so we're going to be just working with them on those particular deliverables. But should claims come forward in terms of reports for insufficiently addressed Title IX reports, we may have to readjust the timelines at that point in time. But that would be working with the Office for Civil Rights, and they're well aware of the fact that there may be some timelines that need to be adjusted.
Just a real quick question, Mr. Campos, have you guys kind of started evaluating some of the schools as far as going into the winter for heating and all that? I know we dealt with the HVAC systems with air conditioning, but going into the winter now. Have you guys started kind of assessing some of the schools if there's any issues with that?
So real quick, Mr. Salazar, that was addressed in the last meeting that you missed and anything like that. And I'll let Mr. Campos answer that, but they are being addressed. Go ahead, Mr. Campos.
Yeah, we've had several coming come in on the weekends to turn them on just to make sure that they were working. And obviously today there was several requests to actually turn them on because everybody's freezing. So yeah, we won't get caught like we did with the air conditioning system. So
there's been multiple contractors that have been hired and Honeywell is the majority of them. They went out to each school district, or each school, I should say, and they went and triggered all the heaters on, just to see which ones are working, which ones weren't working. The ones that weren't working, they ordered parts for them right away. There was one school, I'm not too sure, I don't remember right off the top of my head, that they were experiencing problems with thermostats, so they got them going. But they're gonna order a new set of thermostats just to have them on hand, just in case they do go out. We have those thermostats readily available to switch them out. But as of right now, from the last meeting, I think there was only 2 schools, I believe, that we were.
And of course, Los Niños, we're still waiting for that system to arrive so it can be installed, but we have a plan to move them to the other building in the meantime.
So all of the boilers fired up, heaters working and everything like that. But who's to say that when it actually comes time to fire them up again, they don't fire up? But they have all been inspected and all of them are working currently right now as we speak.
What about the water leak that we heard about today in the northern?
Okay, the water leak today, it was supposed to be just 45 minutes. What turned out to be 45 minutes was we didn't have the compression tool for it ended up being a 2-inch instead of 1.5 inches. So we didn't have the compression tool, so unfortunately, we're moving them to Alcalde tomorrow till the compression tool gets here, because we didn't have the right compression tool. We had the 1.5 inches and not the 2. So that ended up being the issue. I wish the guys would have checked before they actually cut into the line and shut it off, but we didn't.
Did the district then notify parents?
Yeah, there was a robocall.
Robocall or something?
Yes,
We
I
arranged
worked
for bus
with the
service.
principals of both schools, Alcalde and Velarde. Before sending out the robocall, I notified the bus driver, I notified Ms. Coronado to notify her cook, so everything was handled.
So we're cooking
And I
in
notified
Alcalde
Mr.
tomorrow.
Spencer. What's that?
We're cooking in Alcalde now. Right.
And I think we're also where the Alcalde water situation is back under control.
Right, yeah,
They're in
that was my
compliance.
next question, so.
Yeah, they're in compliance. Our water says show that they were in compliance, so we were satisfied.
And again, I remind the board, if there's any questions or any information that you guys feel that you guys need throughout the week or anything like that, feel free to contact Mr. Spencer or shoot Mr. Spencer an email, and he'll be readily available to answer any of your
I think he's
questions.
got enough on his plate. Why don't I call you instead? I'll call you.
The second part of the report was I just wanted to let you know that we had 3 major things going on this week that I had prepared in the report. You know, the finance department has been implementing training and systems review. So last week, there was some training that was provided to principals and also district director level staff on the Visions accounting software system that was giving the ability to review and print school level budgets or department level budgets for both their operational and their activity funds. So this way they would know what they had in the budget system. And so now the principals and directors have access to the detailed budget information that now includes like their initial budget, adjusted budget, encumbrances, liquidations, and then remaining balances. So they can kind of see how that money is moving. And then this week we are under review with our Visions Tyler Technologies vendor for the accounting system. So these would be topics under review, which is the administration and security, general ledger, purchasing, warehouse, and then payroll and employee access, and then human resources and e-PARs. So these are web sessions that the vendor is having with different departments and focus groups across the district to identify how it is that we implement or utilize the accounting packages we currently do, and then mirror that against what capacity does the system have, and then provide to us a recommendation early November about what we can do to make adjustments in the system to be more efficient in utilizing the capacity of the accounting system we have. General obligation bonds update, just wanted to let you all know we do have, if you take a look at the web page for the district, bottom right hand corner, there's a geo bond icon. If you click on that icon, it's going to be taking you to the information that we posted there in providing the public an update in terms of the projects that we have underway, the amount of expenditures. So just to give you an idea, as of last week, we had obligated $4,037,009.06 out of the $10 million bond issuance this year. So there's still $5.9 million unobligated, but I think, you know, getting to the $4 million obligation in the first 3 months of school was certainly a success in starting to move projects forward. On the webpage, you're gonna see a spreadsheet of the project, what school site, what is the update in terms of the project, and then the amount of money that is being spent on that. And so we'll keep revising that as we go, as projects are being completed. We did prepare, and it is in your board packet, wrote an article to be issued to the Rio Grande Sun. I did get notification from them that they wouldn't be able to publish the article because like we wrote it, they didn't write it. But we have two other options where we can take out a paid advertisement for the article, or if she was checking to see if they can run it as an op-ed, and so it would just have to be rewritten in that type of a format. And so we'll see what we can do to get that out there so the public has access to it. But we do have the information on the webpage and wanted to make people aware of that. Graduation requirements, I gave you all that presentation just a couple of weeks ago. We've implemented the communications plan. We've notified parents and schools about the project that we have moving forward for graduation requirements and portrait of a graduate work. Surveys were developed, and then those surveys were released this week. So parents, community, staff, and students, grades 8 through 12, have all been provided a link for that survey. And then we've reached out to community partners such as Mike Adams with Workforce Development with the city of Espanola to send that community survey out to their contacts. And so we're just reaching out to anybody in the community that has a distribution list. We'd like to hear from them. So that survey will be out until Monday of next week, and then we'll start taking a look at the preliminary analysis. And then the following week after that will be a detailed analysis of what we learned of the survey results. And so that concludes the report.
Thank you, Mr. Spencer. Any questions? I have a couple of questions. Can we look into getting somebody to manage our webpage? It's a little difficult to navigate sometimes, and I think if we hired a professional, it would be a little easier. I know we used to have Wolfman Brothers back in the day, and previous, but I think that would be beneficial because a lot of districts go to their websites and it's crispy. I'm not trying to be mean, but it's a lot crispier. You can find things pretty easily. And you have to click like 6-7 clicks to get to it. Like that. We looked at.
Absolutely.
Also, what's our test scores? I've asked about test scores. They were supposed to come out. Did they come out already?
Well, I thought they were going to be published on New Mexico Vistas on the 17th, and I looked today, and they're still not there. This is the latest that we've seen that data come about. It's beneficial when that data comes about, in July or early August, that you can impact, kind of programming for the year. But we're still waiting on the PED to put that out.
So when we get them, can we have a presentation on them?
Yeah.
Yes, we can see where we need to improve our, it's math scores, or who would do that presentation? Would it be Myra, or who does a presentation on that?
I mean, it can be a team effort. We can identify that, but right now the 22-23 data is published on the website, and so what we can do is kind of prepare that presentation to show what the performance looked like in that year, and then where are we in the most recent year, which is 23-24, and see what that movement might look like.
So we see that we're going to focus on improving our test scores, and I think that's very important. We're looking data, right? And also, real quick, one last question. I was trying to find it, but look, the policy on the cameras.
Yes,
Do we ever find, never asked a
we do have a policy, yes.
Okay. And what is it? What does it state?
It just basically states that the camera system is for surveillance and to monitor activity. We gotta kind of read it and go through it. It's one that's put out, I believe, by the state.
But it's not to follow employees or follow.
No, it's not used to follow employees. That's one thing it's not supposed to.
And we're sure that's not happening.
That I know of, no. So, I mean, if it is, please let me know and I can look back and see if anybody is looking at that.
Thank you. Anything else? Mr. Solva?
I have a question. Superintendent Spencer, is there any way that we can assist our principals and our assistant principals on attendance? I know we're really focusing on attendance and bringing that up, but I know like at the middle school and the high school, that they can't run those reports, and if they run certain reports, I think they ran, when I was talking to someone, they said they ran it like 3 different reports, and it gave them different numbers from the report that we gave them. So I'm not too sure if there's a certain report that we can help them so they can actually run the actual information and they don't have to like go day by day, student by student, that is one report or, so I'm just.
Yeah, there should be some reports that you can run out of Synergy, and what I'm actually wondering is whether some of those are like, kind of like districts can pay Synergy to create customized reports.
Okay.
And what I'm just wondering is whether we've done some of that in order to get consolidated information like on a running basis. So I'll
Yeah.
look into that.
Yeah, because they're saying the synergy report isn't giving them accurate information or it's difficult. So if we can
Okay.
just assist our principals, just because we are focusing a lot on attendance and we want to make sure that we're making it easier for them to access that information.
And then just on that point, we have, we're currently developing the attendance action committee in the district, which is going to be cross-representation of people within the district, to learn what the attendance success law is really asking schools and communities to do. And then how do we track the data? And so we'll definitely be digging into whether the reports that we get out of Synergy currently meet that need, or if it's something that we're going to have to do for a customized report. So that would be part of that analysis as well. But you're right. I mean, attendance needs to be addressed. And, you know, having the data behind that to be able to accurately measure it is key.
Thank you.
That's something our dean of students can do also as part of the job description, right?
Attendance is one of the job duties within the dean of students in the district. And so that's part of what it is we're looking at is like, it's going to be a lift, right? To support students and parents with positive attendance and trying to come up with that strategy for how do we do that across the board. And hence the reason why we were pulling that attendance action committee together to help kind of leverage people in the system to help move the work.
Any more questions?
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Spencer. Moving on to number 2, Finance Director Report, Ms. Paul.
Thank you. Good evening, board members. Before you is the finance report. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time, but it does overlap with the superintendent's report a little bit as far as the training goes. We're about halfway through the visions training, which covers 5 unique models, and we have all people and all staff within the finance department involved in these trainings. It's not really even trainings, but it's kind of reviews as to what the module offers. Are we utilizing everything in its capabilities? Are we not? Do we want to think about that? They're going to come back to us early in November and provide recommendations of how we can improve our processes. Several items were discussed today revolving the purchasing process and then the end process of the purchasing on paying out those invoices. And she did say, you know, she made the comment, and I've heard it echoed by superintendent saying we're working a lot harder than what we should have to be working. So the system can do a lot of the heavy lifting on our behalf, and so we're duplicating some of the efforts there. So we do hope to minimize and streamline as well. We did have the training last week to go over with the school sites and the departments on how to pull. We gave instructions on how to pull, and a lot of them logged in, and we walked them through that process as well so that they could pull their own reports, and that'll give them real-time data as well. The audit committee, the audits are going. The next committee meeting is November 11th with accounting and financial solutions. So she'll be involved in that one. Kind of all I can say about that at the moment, but they are diligently wrapping up. The other 2 are probably 98% complete, if not more. The open and switch enrollment is still currently going on. That does end on October 30th. We are sending a notice to all staff, a reminder notice that if they haven't already done so and would like to do so, to go ahead and contact our benefits specialist to make those changes. Again, we do have an update on the bond project and where we're at on the 10 million, how much has been spent down, and where it's encumbered with the different POs and vendors on that, as well as it's on the website for you guys. After that, we have our consolidated board report, which lists each one of the funds as well as the progression in the, remaining budget, how much has been spent, received as far as revenues, expended, and the remaining budget balance. It's located at the bottom of each report, and they're separated by fund. So you have approximately 100 pages of the various funds, and then we come to the purchase orders between 5 and 25,000. So that lists the different departments who have procured services within that range. And that is followed by the checklisting report for the previous month of September. This one is broken out by AP expenses versus payroll expenses, along with those totals. And then we have the investment report after that. So that concludes my report. If you guys have any questions for me.
Thank you, Ms. Cole. Any questions?
I got a question, Ms. Cole, but it's not really directed to you because it was on that bond list on page 3. You guys have a repair for the scoreboard in Hernandez. When I had done a walkthrough with some of the staff in Hernandez, they also mentioned that the bleachers were in dire straits in the gym. So Mr. Campos, if maybe we could take a look at it and see if they need to get repaired or replaced in there. And then also one of the street lights was not working at the time. There, yeah, somewhere I think in the front right there around the circle drive. But I don't know if that was repaired at one point or another since when I went. So that could maybe be utilized for something for some repairs at that gym too. Going into basketball season, but maybe kind of hard to do it now.
President, if I may,
Go ahead, Mr. Bustos.
just to, in response to, Mr. Salazar's comment about the street light, and also just to address this to Mr. Campos himself too. If that street light isn't working, I'm more than happy to go do it as soon as possible. Just Mr. Campos reach out to me, let me know if it's not working, and I'll have that addressed right away.
So, Mr. Bustos, you think it's a Hemis light then?
Excuse me?
You think it's a Hemis light?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's on the site, it's up front.
Okay,
I think
we'll
pretty
check
much all the
tomorrow.
lights are hooked up off campus.
We'll check tomorrow, let you know.
He said I'll check tomorrow, let you know.
Sounds good.
Any other questions? No? Okay, thank you, Ms. Cole, appreciate it. Thank you for your hard work as well too, it's being noticed, thank you. Okay, moving on to action items, letter A, approval of minutes of the regular board meeting on October 3rd, 2024. Mr. Spencer, what is your recommendation? Recommend approval. You heard the recommendation, do I got a motion? All motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by board member Martinez. Ms. Blanco, roll please.
Board Member Martinez?
Yes.
Board Member Bustos?
Yes.
Board Secretary Salazar?
I'm gonna abstain my vote because I was not here at the meeting, so just for the record.
Board Vice President Archuleta?
Yes.
Board President Cruz?
Yes, motion passes. Let the record reflect that Mr. Salazar abstained from the vote. Moving on to letter B, approval or disapproval of American Fence Company supply and install fencing at Abiquiu Elementary in the amount of $98,700 and $763.16. Mr. Spencer, your recommendation.
Recommend approval.
You heard the recommendation. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by board member Martinez. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by board vice president Archuleta. Ms. Blanco, roll please.
Board Member Martinez?
Yes.
Board Member Bustos?
Yes.
Board Secretary Salazar?
Yes.
Board Vice President Archuleta? Board President Cruz?
Yes, motion passes. Moving on to letter C, approval or disapproval of American Fence Company supply and install fencing at Chimayo Elementary in the amount of $76,181.80. Mr. Spencer, your recommendation.
Recommend approval.
You heard the recommendation. I'll motion. Do I have a second? Go ahead, Mr. Salazar.
Are they gonna try and do these pretty quick, Mr. Campos, on both of those jobs, or? Yes, once it's approved tonight, in fact, Tito, you've been talking to him, I don't know what the timeline is.
Once it's approved tonight and we can get the purchase order tomorrow, it's pretty quick after that.
And an Abiquiu, gentlemen, I'll have a slight delay because the first 100 feet isn't our property, it's an easement that we have. So I need to go verify with, Ms. Bobby Trujillo's widow to make sure that she understands that we have that easement and it's recorded. Just as a courtesy, and to see if she wants a gate to access her property, that way we don't fence her out. So,
And do we have a plan in place already for the existing fence in Shimao so it doesn't disappear?
it's gonna get brought back here and then it'll be on the public service auction. We're gonna have to ask American Fence to give us a price so we can set a reserve on it.
Okay.
And then that's where we'll go from there to see who bids on it.
Okay. Okay, thank you guys. There was a motion and there's a second, by Ms. Martinez, Ms. Blanco, roll please.
Board Member Martinez? Yes. Board Member Bustos?
Yes.
Board Secretary Salazar?
Yes.
Board Vice President Ursuleta?
Yes.
Board President Williams?
Yes, motion passes. Moving on to letter D, approval or disapproval of Year Out Mechanical LLC to remove and replace a 100-gallon water heater at Alcalde Elementary in the amount of $48,000, $147.46. Mr. Spencer, your recommendation.
Recommend approval.
You heard the recommendation. Do I have a motion? Motion. Do I have a second? Second, motion by Mr. Archuleta, second by Mr. Salazar. Ms. Polanco, roll.
Board Member Martinez? Yes. Board Member Bustos?
Yes.
Board Secretary Salazar?
Yes.
Board Vice President Ursuleta?
Yes.
Board President Williams?
Yes, motion passes. Moving on to letter E, approval or disapproval of cancellation of July 8th, 2024, purchase order, approval of Rocky Mountain Mechanical. Mr. Spencer, your recommendation.
Recommend approval.
You heard the recommendation. I will motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second by Ms. Martinez. Ms. Polanco, roll please.
Board Member Martinez? Yes. Board Member Bustos?
Yes.
Board Secretary Salazar?
Yes.
Board Vice President Ursuleta?
Which why we cancel that? We gotta read it there because if they were over the $60,000 threshold.
So that's not why, do you want to elaborate real quick, Mr. Spencer?
Sure, so what happens is the Board of Education took action on the same item twice. It just happened to have been for two separate vendors, but same project, same piece of equipment. What originally happened here was when Rocky Mountain was initially proposed back in July, the procurement department made a determination that they could procure this asset under the $60,000 threshold. But after the board approved it, they found that there were other expenditures that were already in place with Rocky Mountain that took them over the $60,000 threshold. So therefore, they weren't able to use this particular vendor. Then in September, another vendor for the same project was brought forward and then the board had approved it. So under normal circumstance, what we should be doing is doing a cancellation of the prior and then approving the new one. It's just that it took us a while to bring this back to the agenda when we found that we had a duplicate approval for the item.
Yes.
Board President Williams?
Yes. Motion passes. Moving on to letter E. Oh, no, sorry, F. There we go, yeah. Approval or disapproval of the Tillery Chevrolet GMC, purchase of a truck for use in the maintenance department in the amount of $62,728. Mr. Spencer, your recommendation.
Recommend approval.
You heard the recommendation. Do I have a motion?
I'll motion.
And I'll second. Ms. Blanco, roll.
Board Member Martinez? Yes. Board Member Bustos?
Just discussion real quick, what kind of vehicle is it? Just for knowledge.
Mr. Bustos, this is gonna be a pickup, truck that's gonna be able to pull our tractor at, a gooseneck trailer that we have, that we don't have anything to pull it with. So this vehicle will be utilized to transport our tractor, correct?
I just wanna know what kind of truck it
A
is.
Chevy GMC, Chevy GMC.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
Not a Ford though.
I'm an outside, yes.
Board Secretary Salazar?
Yes.
Board Vice President Ursuleta?
Yes.
Board President Williams?
Yes. Okay, motion passes. Moving on to letter G, approval or disapproval of a consultant agreement between Future Focus Schools and Espanola Public Schools. Mr. Spencer, your recommendation.
Recommend approval.
You heard the recommendation. Do I have a motion? I'll motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Board Member Martinez. Ms. Polanco, roll.
Board Member Martinez? Yes. Board Member Bustos?
Yes.
Board Secretary Salazar?
Yes.
Board Vice President Ursuleta?
Yes.
Board President Williams?
Yes, motion passes. Moving on, letter H, approval or disapproval of LV Supply to purchase custodial items to restock the warehouse in the amount of $26,368.65. Mr. Spencer, your recommendation.
Recommend approval.
You heard the recommendation. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Board Member Martinez, second by Board Secretary Salazar. Ms. Polanco, the roll.
Board Member Martinez? Yes. Board Member Bustos?
Yes.
Board Secretary Salazar?
Yes.
Board Vice President Huerta?
Yes.
Board President Cody?
Yes. Okay, moving on to letter I. Ms. Polanco, let the record reflect that Mr. Archuleta stepped out at 7:22, and now he's back. Moving on to letter I, approval or disapproval of Labatt to purchase food and non-food items for the at-risk dinner program to feed the 21st century participants in the amount of $198,221. Mr. Spencer, your recommendation.
Recommend approval.
You heard the recommendation. I'll motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Board Member Martinez. Ms. Polanco, the roll.
Board Member Martinez? Yes. Board Member Bustos?
Yes.
Board Secretary Salazar?
Yes.
Board Vice President Huerta?
Yes.
Board President Cody?
Yes, motion passes. Letter J, approval or disapproval of CES project proposal for Title 9 compliance related to OCR resolution agreement in the amount of $97,100. Mr. Spencer, your recommendation.
Recommend approval.
You heard the recommendation. I'll motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Board Member Martinez. Ms. Polanco, the roll.
Board Member Martinez? Yes. Board Member Bustos?
Yes.
Board Secretary Salazar?
Yes.
Board Vice President Huerta?
Yes.
Board President Cody?
Yes. Moving on to letter K, approval or disapproval of extension of contract for FY23 audit services. Mr. Spencer, your recommendation.
I recommend approval.
You heard the recommendation. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
I'll second. Ms. Polanco, the roll.
Board Member Martinez? Yes. Board Member Bustos?
Yes.
Board Secretary Salazar?
Yes.
Board Vice President Huerta?
Yes.
Board President Cody?
Yes, motion passes. Moving on, letter L, approval or disapproval of extension of contract with JAG for special audit. Mr. Spencer, your recommendation.
I do not recommend approval.
You heard the recommendation. I'll motion to not approve the contract extension. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Board Member Martinez. Ms. Polanco, the roll.
Board Member Martinez? Yes. Board Member Bustos?
Yeah.
Board Secretary Salazar?
Yeah.
Board Vice President Huerta?
I'm gonna stay because I don't have that much information on it, but just.
Board President Cody?
Yes. Motion passes. Let the record reflect that Mr. Archuleta abstained from the vote. Moving on to letter M, discussion and approval or disapproval of an agreement between Northern Rio Grande Conference and Espanola Public Schools. Mr. Spencer, your recommendation.
I recommend approval.
Is there any discussion before we move forward to this agreement with the NRGs?
I have a discussion and I'm not opposed to, like, I'm a big supporter of them, but I just think that it should be a yearly thing, I think, because I know it's a 5-year deal, but what if, another board after us doesn't really, and what if prices change or electricity goes up, there's just a lot that can go on.
At the same time, Mr. Archuleta, I do understand your concerns, but at this point right now, the relationship between the district and the NRGs is a good relationship. It's a great revenue for athletics program during that tournament process. Even though they do keep the gate, we keep all the concession prices. The district really doesn't incur costs because they actually provide all the services, janitorial services. They pay our security, correct, Mr. Lopez?
We pay for everything.
So just the light is what we have to pay for.
Yeah, you pay
Electricity.
for the electricity basically, but we pay for all workers, all staff that's on board, and we usually hire the schools employees because they're familiar with the facility. So it'd be the custodians and security, and we run everything.
There's not anything there where it's like it could be a mandate or 2 year, or there's usually in some contractors like a notice if both parties want to.
And we could, Mr. Archuleta, I mean, it's up to the board how you wanna handle it.
I'm for it, don't get this wrong, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
what if you don't like, oh, I don't like the lighting at the high school, the poles are ugly, we wanna go back to.
Right.
Milwaukee, or no, what if Milwaukee tells you, we're gonna do it
For that.
for less, I'm just saying, that's the only thing that.
And just to let you know, in the NRG meeting that we had last week, all the member schools were very much pushing that we stay in this
Okay.
as long as we can.
I'm just saying that.
They like being in the central location, it's easier for them to travel, and then when the weather changes, the roads are a lot easier to manage, and then the hotels that are closer for the kids, and in the event they have to stay, it's a lot easier to hold on to them or to keep them, and even if they have to stay at the gym, which is
always been considered, especially for the schools that travel further. There are facilities that we could accommodate those kids if we had to.
And I'm just because usually MOUs have like a 30-day clause or 1 day clause, and this one doesn't, so.
And one thing I'd like to emphasize, like Mr. Lopez just stated right now, this only isn't good for the district, it's good for the Espanola Valley as well too, as far as revenue. Bringing in all that revenue to our restaurants, to our local restaurants, to our hotels and you know, our local stores here. And our local, you know, street vendors and stuff like that. Yeah, businesses in general, it's a good thing for them as well too, so. There was a motion, do I have a second? Second by Board Member Martinez. Ms. Polanco, roll please.
Board Member Martinez?
Yes.
Board Member Bustos?
Yes.
Board Secretary Salazar?
Yes.
Board Vice President Retolito?
Yes.
Board President White?
Yes, motion passes. Moving on, discussion and approval or disapproval of the SRO agreement between Espanola Public Schools and Espanola Police Department. Mr. Spencer, your recommendation.
Recommend approval.
You heard the recommendation, do I got a motion?
Discussion.
Go ahead, Mr. Salazar.
So reading the SRO, what's gonna happen with our schools out of the city limits?
Mr.
Do you guys have coverage for?
So we would still use, as we're doing currently without an SRO, we would still reach out to the sheriff's department and state police to assist us. Same thing like with TEQ, they're out of the city, they're out of Rio Rico County, so we can either call Santa Fe County, which responds pretty quickly, or we contact state police directly. So that is the contingency that we have for the outlying schools, we would still reach out.
And
to
was
those.
this discussed with them already and all that, or what's the?
We just do it like we're doing now, as calls for service. So even like I said, we had that meeting, that we had planned, 2 weeks ago? And that was something that was discussed in the event we needed those law enforcement agencies, they would still be available to us. Captain Casales, who's state police, is on board to push forward if we need help, they're there for us.
And I'm working to set up a meeting with the Rio Arriba County Sheriff's Office. So this way we can have a further discussion about plan for support. Just waiting to hear back from them about a good time to meet.
Could we also include the Wingate Tribal Police Department as well too? Because we have the Saman Elementary that's in their district as well. So we can reach out to them and.
So we are, that same meeting, Wingo is part of that meeting, they're on board to assist in anything that we need, so, because they do answer calls for service at that.
And one other thing too is that, you know, in discussion with the Lieutenant Governor, he did say that they had a drug dog available. So if we can maybe have discussion with them and maybe they can team up with our new SRO officer and they can provide, you know, help us out with that dog at the high school and the junior high once in a while.
So the dog's, as of 2 weeks ago, the dog is still in training. He hasn't graduated yet. And then what happens is once he graduates, then the handler, which is Lieutenant Trujillo from the sheriff's department, the dog and the officer came from Milwaukee. So what happened was, we get purchased the dog from Milwaukee because the handler transferred over, or got hired over here. So instead of running the dog through a different handler, they just kept it. So now they have to continue training. We've discussed that, and we have contact with Lieutenant Trujillo and Chief Trujillo, Roger Trujillo from the police department there to use the dog as we need to. We would probably have to get into an MOU or discuss that with our attorney as to the legality of having a drug dog. It's not far-fetched, and it can be used, but at what level and how we're gonna use it.
Go ahead, real quick, we tried getting a drug dog probably about 6 years ago, but it was a huge liability, and the district just.
Well,
decided
if
to
you
go a different
remember
way.
years ago, the school purchased a dog for the police department, and I was a lieutenant there.
Yeah.
And I was kind of opposed to it, and it turned out that the dog was a bite dog more than a sniff dog. So we had to muzzle the dog all day long, which wasn't fair to the dog, the kids couldn't be around it, so it was.
Yeah, this is another quick question, are you done with your questions?
Yeah, I'm done.
Is anybody here from the city to answer questions? Cause I think it's only, somebody should be
I
here.
don't know. The agreement would be with Chief Garcia, so I'm not sure.
No, he's not in the meeting.
Can we table it for the next meeting, make sure he's here?
What questions do you have, Mr.?
I just have a lot of questions of, because, you know, schools with the SRO have a higher rate of lawsuits. And I was part of the district, part of the board member when we had that major lawsuit that created a lot of issues. And there was a lot of things that could have been done right, and there's a lot of things that should have been done correctly, and, unfortunately, we weren't there to answer the question. There was with over the papers, it turned into a disaster. We're getting interviewed by attorneys, and we're here, we knew nothing about it. We got to the board meeting on a Wednesday, and the real grandson said about the lawsuit, and there's just a lot of issues, and I would be more comfortable having the chief here to answer questions of, the training that they're gonna give these kids, just because you're a cop doesn't mean you can work with kids, there's other training that the other previous officer didn't do,
So
that caused a lawsuit, so.
that's one of the clauses that we put into the current contract. If you see
I
it.
saw some of that,
That
but I
the
want to ask
SRO
him what kind of training.
Yeah, they have to be certified school resource officers through the National School Resource Officer Association. That's a specialized training. DPS did have a training last year. I reached out to Brian Koss a couple of months ago. They're at the academy. They didn't have it this budget year, but they're planning on doing one. So this officer, my understanding is that's coming in, does have that training, so we would have to get that.
Did he give you any of that certification?
Not, well, we haven't signed it. We don't even know who the officer is. So
And that's another red flag, because at the time, Riva gave us who they wanted to give us.
correct.
And I think as a district, we should have maybe 3 that we could interview, or 2 that we think is gonna be a better fit. Because obviously, the gentleman wasn't a fit, and it caused this lawsuit, and it caused a lot of time and effort, so I think I'd be more comfortable having Chief Garcia here answering some questions before I approve anything, because I was involved in that.
Well,
situation.
you heard the recommendation, do we have a motion to, approve? All motion,
I'll motion, yeah.
do I have a second?
Motion to the table.
Well, we have a motion to approve, do we have a second to approve?
I'll second the motion to approve. My thing is that we've been complaining that we need an SRO. We finally finally get something, and then if we continue to push it off, we're not doing our diligence, that's something that.
We're not pushing it off, we're just
It's
asking
gonna make a
for,
difference, because the chief should be here.
yeah, to answer the
The chief
question.
should be here to
That's
answer
what-
questions.
what Mr.
This is a big
Archuleta
deal.
saying.
I don't know, to me, it's a big deal because I was involved in this whole deal with lawsuits and this, it got nasty, we're all over the papers, Mexican,
All over YouTube.
all over YouTube, yeah. We were all over everywhere, and I just think 2 weeks is the best way to avoid a lawsuit, make sure we're getting because right now, are we gonna get to interview the person we want? Because how do you know if we're not getting the right cops?
Well, as the board, we cannot even interview this
I'm just
individual,
asking him,
so.
I'm just asking him.
Right, so that would be one thing that Mr. Spencer, that'd be one thing Mr. Spencer and I would have to, when we meet with the chief, because that's where the MOU would be signed, and I think that's one of the discussions that was had, is that he has the MOU in front of us, so he knows that the SRO has to be an SRO certified officer. Can't just be a patrol officer, a 2-year patrol officer out on the street, has to be an SRO.
And then another issue that we had before is the cops go to the games for free anyways. We're paying this guy overtime, we're doing
No,
everything.
that's in the.
But it says that we don't have to use the rent, that's what it says.
No,
there.
it says that he would be covering the games, but they cover the overtime, we don't. They're picking up the overtime
The
charge.
last time we had to pick up
Yeah.
the overtime.
And I did have a conversation with Chief Mizell over this. We kind of went item by item and kind of went through it. And just made sure that we had an understanding on every one of those particular elements.
I'm a little leery, I think it's this, but. again,
There's been a motion and there's a second, Ms. Blanco, roll please.
Board Member Martinez?
Yes.
Board Member Bustos?
Yes.
Board Secretary Salazar?
I'm gonna abstain.
Board Vice President Archuleta?
I'm gonna abstain also.
Board President Police?
Yes, motion passes. Let the record reflect that Mr. Archuleta and Mr. Salazar both abstained from the vote. And just to, just put it out there, I have total faith in Mr. Spencer, and navigating this district in the right way, and I'm pretty sure Mr. Spencer asked the questions that were needed in regards to hiring this SRO, so.
Real quick comment, I've asked for Mr. Spencer and for Mr. Lopez to meet with the sheriff. It still hasn't happened from what Mr. Spencer stated. And so I'm kind of leery about, like I tell you, the security issues at the other schools. We're covering the ones in the town, but where are we on the ones outside of the school district, out of the city? That's my concern.
If I may answer that.
Go ahead,
So, Mr. Salzer, we have real good response from the sheriff's department. We had a burglary the other morning. I had 5 deputies on site. A burglary doesn't take 5 deputies, but we had them there. We had another issue, where we called for assistance. we had, their response was quick. At night, when we had the alarms, state police has called me.
Hold on, Mr.
Sheriff's
Bustos.
Department has called me to Abiquiu, to Hernandez when the alarms go off. So the response time for the outer schools with these two agencies that work in the county is good, it's great. Just like I said, when you had first asked about it, you guys had gone into executive session, I had reached out to the undersheriff and said, and asked her, are you guys up to par for staffing? And she had told me that one deputy was in the academy and they're planning on sending 2 more in January to the academy, which is pretty accurate. And she said, right now, we don't. So that's why we moved forward with the chief of police to see if we could get at least the city in there, especially with all the threats and everything that has happened over the last couple of weeks. At least have an officer on site that we could start navigating and moving forward with for our safety. And then talking to these other agencies to deal with the outer schools like we did. Next school year, hopefully the sheriff's department will have their numbers up. I'm sure they will, because they're building.
Well, I think the sheriff's department actually has more deputies than what the city does.
I'm positive they do. I believe it, because I see a lot in the county.
Hold on 1 second, Mr. Bustos.
So, yeah, but just so that you know that there was a discussion with the undersheriff.
Go ahead, Mr. Bustos.
This question's for Mr. Lopez. Mr. Lopez, usually in the past when we had a SRO officer, usually it's where do they station at? Usually the high school, they go back to the middle school, kind of like that, right?
Yes, so they would be, this officer in particular would be stationed at the high school, but would be answering calls for service at all the inner city schools.
See, the way I would see it is, I have nothing against the sheriff's office, of course. They're there. They want to participate and give us an officer. That's cool if they don't or don't. But I see it as this officer's going to be stationed in the city limits, so I don't mind the city officer there. And I would really, personally, I wouldn't like to tie up the sheriff's office because they do got a big county. They serve a lot of people too as well. The time there's a lot of windshield time for them to get to calls. So I don't really want to take too much off the sheriff's hands either. Unless I know the sheriff has a pretty good staff right now, but I'm okay with the PD for now. And maybe if Sheriff Merrifield wants to get involved maybe next year, then we could definitely look into that as well. But that's the way I see it. They're going to be stationed in city limits, cities, a small city. They're easier for response time, fast time, and we free our sheriffs, and they're able to patrol the county. And like you said, they you call somebody, state police shows up, San Diego County shows up, it's San Diego County, and then there's also a Rio County there as well. So technically, we're not without officers.
Thank you, Mr. Bustos.
Thanks.
Okay, moving on to the consent agenda.
Okay. See you guys next meeting.
I am going to, thank you, Mr. Lona.
Thank you guys. I'll reach out to you guys. I'll do some impros with you, young lady. So I'm out of here. Talked a bunch of bull crap. But let's see how it goes. Thank you guys for stopping in, watching. Appreciate it.